are going to talk about the thyroid today. So, Amy, care to start us off?
And I know personally, I've struggled. When I was going through my gut issues, I had really wonky thyroid stuff going on. And I didn't have the autoimmune component, so I was in that really weird, like, I had multiple antibodies run. Which I know there can be some caveats, but I just don't think I was in the autoimmune category.
Quick recap for those of you who are not super thyroid savvy. The markers that you see on blood work are usually going to be, if it's from a conventional doctor, they're usually going to test TSH, and that's it. TSH is not produced by the thyroid. It's produced by a part of your brain, and it's your brain telling your thyroid, hey man, make more juice. And then the thyroid is going to respond, hopefully by making more thyroid hormone. And then that can kind of regulate itself, right? So if your brain is having to scream down at your thyroid, like, oh my God, we need more hormone, that would be reflective of a high TSH. It's like your brain is yelling at your thyroid to do its job. And that's why we say that's low thyroid function, because it's like the brain has to work that much harder to get the thyroid to do its job. On the converse, the flip side, if you have too much thyroid hormone, your brain is going to shut down that signal and say, no, we're good. No, we don't need any more. And it will take away that stimulus, so then TSH goes low. So that's when you have too much thyroid hormone. So it's flip-flopped. It's a little counterintuitive. But then there's two thyroid hormones, T4, which is the vast majority of the thyroid hormone your gland produces, but it's not really active. And then T3, which is what we've referenced already, and that's the active form of thyroid hormone. That's the stuff that can go bind to your cells, do all the cool metabolism things, and all the cool things that we want thyroid hormone to do. Both are important, but like one is a little bit more of a storage form and one is the active form. So that's kind of your thyroid physiology primer that admittedly could have gone at the beginning of the episode.
True. And I think like thyroid too, just from a hormonal standpoint, it's viewed as like a metabolic type hormone. Mm-hmm. It controls the rate of like how we're using energy, those sorts of things. And again, it affects like the rate of digestion too, which is again why it can be so problematic. I think when there's a SIBO situation or again from an IBS situation, because it can affect motility and digestion. Mm-hmm. But at the same time too, like I feel like, again, they're always feeding back and forth. So again, with thyroid stuff, sometimes it is like chicken or egg situation, and they're always kind of feeding back and forth. And I think you have to sort of do things that are supportive of both to reach homeostasis. And I think, again, with hormonal stuff, sometimes people, and even with gut stuff too, like we were talking about earlier, it's very easy to kind of go down one rabbit hole and be like, oh, I'm going to fix my gut to fix my thyroid, or I'm going to fix my thyroid and that'll help with my gut. But it almost has to be a very, very like dueling plan where you can address each piece. So. Yeah, in terms of, I know we talked about a few, I wanted to just touch on some of the symptoms, just to kind of run through. I would say I feel like most people that listen to our podcast are probably hip to like some thyroid, like they have some thyroid knowledge.
We hope, because it took us how long to get to the symptoms of hypothyroidism?
Right.
28 minutes in? That's all right.
But I think that the symptoms side of things, so we talked a little bit about like sometimes weight gain, again, is like the popular thing that I think people think of with thyroid issues is like, oh, weight gain. But like you were saying, brain fog's a big one. Energy issues are a big one. Depression's a really big one. Yep. I think there was something like some study that was saying, 25% of people diagnosed with depression actually have like thyroid abnormalities, which is really interesting and sad that like people could be having underlying some of the depression could be some thyroid issues. Yeah. I think that I sort of remember when I was going through thyroid stuff, like it felt like you're like trying to walk in mud or like quicksand. Like it just felt like everything was very slow and like nothing moved quickly. I even think I had some like more slurred speech type issues. Like it's really weird. Like I'll watch old videos of myself during that time and be like, oh, my speech was slurred. And I even noticed it back then. But yeah, like I everything was just slower. I couldn't think straight. Those are the big ones. Feeling cold, hair loss are both huge.
Constipation also.
Constipation.
For hypo.
Right. From a gut symptom standpoint. Constipation's a huge one.
Yeah.
So those are the big ones that I see. Did I miss any besides the constipation? The one that we should probably talk about on a gut podcast?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you hit on pretty much all of them. The biggies, at least. I mean, you can have like skin changes and edema and like there's other stuff that goes with it. Yeah.
Dryish skin.
Like scaly. So there's other stuff certainly that'll go with it. I think that tends to happen more in like really pronounced cases.
Yeah.
Like if you have a TSH of 5, I don't know if it's enough to really change your skin drastically.
Yeah, and iodine, just for people to know, iodine, like when we say T3, it's because it has 3 iodine. T4 has 4 iodine. So you need iodine to make thyroid hormone.
Yeah.
So it's a really critical piece. I think it's interesting because I find that like the other nutrient that gets discussed a lot is selenium.
Yep.
But I think selenium's something that like most people get in their diet. Like I don't think that's necessarily a nutrient that I see being like super deficient in someone's diet.
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell, click the like button, and leave a comment down below with the videos that you would like to see me do next. Doing all of those really helps support the channel and support my efforts in making as many videos as possible for you guys. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.